it's never about the motivation. It's never about the discipline. Although we are told that if you just have motivation, if you just have the discipline, everything will be fine along the way. But I'm here to tell you that none of that actually matter when you truly have a strong reason that compel you to stay on this path. Because when you have a strong reasons, you do not fall back to the person that you used to be. You tend to have a strong mindset and resist a lot of temptation along the way, because you will have a lot of temptation to give up, to stay, or to not do the things that you choose to do. And these, when you have a compelling reason, those are the reasons that are going to keep you on the journey. If you are a student, then your academic might be this stress thing in your life at a certain point where you think about, do I really need to do this? Why am I even doing this? What's the point of doing this? Or if you're going to job, your 9 to 5 job or any type of job, and it's stressing you out, and you think about, how can I liberate myself from this stress? Yet the thought of financial crisis that might come after quitting this job is another stress that you do not want to deal with. Therefore, coping up with this every single day is easier option for you rather than thinking about another option. You see, we have so much decision to make in life. We are required to make so many decisions, but when the outcome becomes another overwhelming thought that we do not want to deal with, then our initial path become the cope. We just cope with our initial path, and we never question whether this path is truly for us, or why do we do it even though we are stressed about it. You might sit down and make goals and have all these aspirations, but what you get wrong is when you only think about the glamour of this goal, what you're gonna get from it, how famous you will be, or how much your life will be stable, or where you can get to travel to, people that you're going to meet. All that is an excitement that you'll have in the initial part. But when you get towards the journey, you will be crushed because it's gonna be hard. You will have temptation. Then where do you stand up with? Then your reasons were never strong. Your reasons were never the right reasons. Having a compelling reason comes about the responsibility that you will get to fulfill when you choose to pursue this goal. It hits you in the gut to say, oh my God, if I choose this goal, I will get to fulfill this responsibility of mine towards myself, my community, and overall society. And even if I don't get to do it all, I will get to do some part of it. And that gives you the greatest satisfaction more than anything else that will come along the way. So even when you didn't get what you thought about, what your initial assignment, the life perfect that you have envisioned, you at least were able to fulfill your responsibility, and that's what matters. That is about that purpose. It's not about the other things that excite you, it's about the purpose. And another thing about having strong compelling reason to pursue a particular path is that the possible outcome of not pursuing this goal end up being far from what you want for yourself, far from the person that you want to be. Even worse, that it hits you in the gut to say, oh my God, I can never be this person. Like I will try my best no matter what. I will try my best to not be the bottom of the list. Everything just falls alignment to what you want and where you're pursuing, no matter how much tempting it is along the journey to quit, to give up. It's just your brain is gonna think about, oh my God, if I get to do this after doing all this, my heart will be so satisfied. That's what's going to give you motivation and keep you disciplined along the way. Things like that is what keeps you ahead in life. It's never about quote unquote nice things. There are 4 components that makes a compelling reason in the pursuit of goals or in the pursuit of any journey that you choose to do. And the first one is aspiration. People might have goals and set everything, but they always find themselves falling back to the person they used to be. They're never gonna get to say, no more laziness, no more negative thought about myself, no more self-sabotaging, no more this. is because they lack aspiration. They don't aspire any good in life, or they do but continue living in the hopes of having optimistic life outcome for them in the future. They accept life in the name of gratefulness and associate the thought of success with greed and ungratefulness. When you don't have aspiration, you don't see yourself that somebody you can become, and you tend to accept life as it is. The most ungrateful thing that you can even do is to associate aspiration with ungratefulness. I see this a lot when they see people that have high aspiration of themselves, high goals, and they're constantly working towards this. Is that, oh my god, you're so ungrateful, you're pursuing dunya, blah blah blah. All these things is just low mindset. It's so low mindset. I think it's quite the opposite. When you have everything at your hand but you don't aspire to be any good except to live in the same space forever. Number two component is fear. I think we need to have an element of fear of the person that we are right now if we don't change, given all the things and all the negative things that we are indulging ourselves in from years now, what kind of person that we will be. If you don't see it and envision it to yourself and fear that, I don't think what's gonna compel you to change. There is no self-assessment of their life or self-consciousness of their behavior. Their heart is numb, no longer feel the pain of life and accepting to suffer in mediocrity, and would rather suffer for the ease of life than for the good of life. I also see life as like two different things, where there's two suffering that you might have in life. And the people that choose to suffer for the good of life, they choose to focus being the good person in society, providing for themselves, for their community, their family member. That give you a greater attribute. It's suffering, but that suffering, when you look back at it, you'll be proud of yourself for giving up temptation, for giving up things that you left behind to pursue this goal. And another suffering is when you do not take any action at all. But you're never gonna see it as suffering until years later, when nobody is around you to tell you what to do. Because trust me, you will be at a certain age where nobody will be coming to you and giving you the same advice that they gave you before, because you're already a grown person. Nobody is gonna have time for you to sit down and tell you do this, do that, because to everybody you're already grown and you know it all. That's just all that it is at a certain point in life when you reach. But the thing is that people don't see it as another suffering. They would rather get a job that is gonna pay them right now, but they will sacrifice their future. They're doing something but they don't have faith in it. They don't see the quick results. They will quit it and do something that's gonna give them a quick money, but it's not sustainable. When you engage in self-assessment, you become more self-aware and responsible for your action, leading to personal growth and success. And is shame. I'm not saying that to genuinely be ashamed of yourself or the things of, if you have engaged in any negativity, then of course you might feel shameful of the things that you do. But I'm talking about shame in the aspect of having potentiality to change but yet refuse to stay in the same space, taking life for granted and feeling entitled to the things that you have in life. When you genuinely don't recognize that you're lucky, it's only the people that you see that have all the achievement that you want are lucky, then you don't appreciate life as much. You don't appreciate your own life that is given to you for nothing. But when you go through life with a sense of, I do not deserve anything except the things that I've worked for, then you have the gratitude to pursue the things that are around you. For example, our immigrant parent that traveled hundreds of miles to come here and build the life for us to have an easy life. I don't think if they were to only think about their bellies and where they're going to sleep, they will even cross they will even cross these miles. No. The reason why today they're able to support themselves, their family back home, and their community, and think about greater things is because they have realized that they are lucky, and they're lucky they must make a choice, and they made a choice to come here. And that's why they're able to do it. But right now, we taking everything for granted. Is like, I do not have to take action that you have taken. Yes, you don't have to, but you can do more better, way better than them. It's about realizing that you have so much potential, and then if you can lean on that potential, you will do so much better, so many good things for yourself and the society. Is your circumstances. There's no anything better than viewing your circumstances and analyzing them and seeing them yourself in where you can improve and not. For example, you might be living in a neighborhood where there's so many crackhead along the way. When you wake up, you hear loud music and you're just so upset and you're just so annoyed all the time. What are you going to think about these people? Of course, you're going to think they're losers and you're the winner. But when you tend to not have that comparison with them, rather have comparison with you and somebody that is also in your lane, then you see that that person is actually improving this way and I'm still in the same position. Your competition is not the people that you view outside. Those are which are crackhead and maybe smokers and don't take their life seriously. Your competition is actually somebody that actually it's actually somebody that also take their life seriously, but they have choose to make other decisions that are far more better than the ones that you have choose, and you need to look up to them as well. And nowadays, like, it's so easy to curate your mind, to curate your environment to where you want. For example, if you live in that circumstances, maybe the best way to do is to engage in a lot of reading and a lot of consuming to the content that will give you a higher, better version of you, or that is going to help you along the journey. Sometimes we are told to not focus on negative emotions, and I think negative emotions should not be neglected. We should use them to our advantage. If I'm waking up every single day and seeing these people around me, my instinct is saying, this is actually the reason why you need to choose this path and actually work your way out so you do not get to experience this negativity around you. You can finally be around people that have sane mentality to think for themselves and make a better decision. If you're still struggling to stay on the path or the journey that you are initially choose to, it's time for you to revalue the reasons that you choose, whether these reasons follow these factors or not. But think about the responsibility, like I said before, not about the glamour of this goal. I hope you find your own reason that compels you to choose the path that you are right now. If not, I've given you a lot of ways to think about how to make your reasons more compelling. Assalamu alaikum, subscribe.